Hey, welcome everyone. So I am here today to help talk about the America's I-Ching and I-Ching Academy based in Santa Monica, California, and just a little bit of an update on what we're currently looking at within the academy and what's being taught by Dr. Wu. So, in essence, we've most recently been kind of looking at Confucius's contemporaries during his time. There were, of course, instances in history where they talked about Confucius going to learn from Lao Tzu for a period of time and calling him a dragon. But there are lesser known contemporaries also, people like Wei Guzi, who was around during that time, but is just kind of lesser known. Lesser known for a variety of reasons, which I we'll probably get into in a future book that we're going to be writing about him. But just to talk briefly about Guiguzi, he was alive during the Warring States period in the 4th century BCE, and he also he was just kind of a seminal Taoist figure, but he was kind of behind the scenes. But he was kind of in the same scenes as Lao Tzu. He obviously learned from that whole kind of school and sect that was going on at that time. But what did he himself talk about, or why was he different than like a Confucius or even a Lao Tzu? Is he kind of focused more on psychology and I-Ching and looking at the true kind of matter-of-fact results of what works and what doesn't work for humanity and society. Whereas Lao Tzu, if you look at the Tao Te Ching, it's kind of like you could say it's like a general guidebook for like how humanity should conduct itself, right? But Guiguzi looked at things differently, and he was more interested in what actually is practical in the modern era. And in that sense, it was more of like psychological things, psychological tactics, how to kind of force harmony upon society through a sage-like type of wisdom. And you could say, wow, that's interesting, or Machiavellian, or it has all these different permutations to it. But if you look at Confucius's students versus Guiguzi's students, Confucius, he had some teachers, some philosophers kind of come out of his camp, and he had over 5,000 students, where Guiguzi, I think they say he had around 500 students, and I mean, at least 5 of them became very, very prominent, to the point of being nationally known and recognized and basically like heads of state during that time. And you're talking about taking people who were basically villagers and making them into, established luminaries of the time. So in that sense, it's very much just a kind of a race. It's not a competition, but there was no comparing. It's apples and oranges. Like Wei Guzi's, teachings actually yielded kind of better things out in society in a sense. And there was, even though there was kind of like a lot of competition, any way you slice it back then, those types of philosophies needed to kind of be out there to put a balancing effect on society. Back then, it's like warlord culture. It was kind of hectic, so to speak. So, yeah, I just thought I'd give you guys a quick update on what we're doing, what we're teaching, and my experience, learning this material has really radically changed a lot of ways, I view even modern life, just because these philosophies put forth, over 1,000 years ago at this point, they're probably being applied more today than they were back then, which sounds crazy, but again, this will kind of be in the upcoming book that I'm going to talk about this, but it's very true. All of his different philosophical understandings and tactics, I mean, besides being like the first, kind of Chinese psychologist, if you will, he was also kind of the first public relations person. He like invented all these things that are very much in widespread use today. So just thought I'd give you all a quick update. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.